welcome to day 2 at Ingram Micro GITEX. My name is Danya Khan and I work with the marketing team at Ingram Micro. As a part of our presence at the GITEX stand, we are running a series of podcasts with our vendors, and today we have MySQL from Oracle, that's the right way to say it. So joining me today is Chetan and Laszlo. I would hand it over to them to introduce themselves and we can take it forward from there.
Thank you, Danya. First of all, it is a pleasure to join Ingram Micro at this booth and for us to be present as a MySQL pod as well. So, great opportunity. Yes, in terms of introductions, my name is Chetan Rao. I manage the MySQL software business for the Middle East and Africa region. And I'm quite honored that I was the employee number 1 for MySQL business 6 years ago.
Wow.
Now we are a team of 8. So I'm the sales director for the Middle East and Africa region.
That's great.
It's lovely to be here. I'm Laszlo Ludas. I'm the head of software alliances, so MySQL within Oracle. For the past 8 years, it's thrilling to see the growth of this region, and it's a great opportunity to talk to Ingram.
Great. So Ingram Micro and Oracle MySQL have been working together for a few years now, and not just in UAE, but in the wider Gulf region and Africa as well. So we have been delighted to see the growth of the relationship over the years, and again, thank you for your sponsorship. So to begin with the sessions and the questions, so I know many partners are aware of Oracle and MySQL, but for new partners and customers, can you give us a quick overview of MySQL and why customers and partners choose MySQL Enterprise Edition, especially since the community version is so popular?
Sure. Let me start on the customer front, Dania. So MySQL Enterprise Edition is the world's most popular open source database, and it's the preferred database for developers. A lot of times when I'm at events like GITEX and I meet students and new graduates, they say the first experience we've had has been with MySQL from day one. And for us, it's a great pride that a lot of these developers are starting off their journey in terms of development with MySQL as the infrastructure database. Now, back to your point as to why it's so popular and why people consider the Enterprise Edition, the supported, compared to the community. We have organizations here who really need top 3 things that I have experienced in my 6 years with the MySQL business. 1, it's high availability. So in essence, if your business critical 24/7 business is very important. So that's why they use Enterprise Edition. Second reason is the fact that our security. We have encryption of data masking of sensitive data. So that is a critical aspect that organizations they rely on MySQL. And I'll go a bit more into the compliance aspect. And finally, the fact that we are 90% more cost effective than other databases in the market. So this is a compelling reason, along with the fact that just ease of use. Now, if I may go back on the partner side of the questions, the reason for the last 6 years that we have grown the partner sets, especially with Ingram AppTech, has been the fact that it is a short sales cycle for partners. We're looking at traditionally between sort of 2 to 6 months. And the fact that it's a 30% rebate, which is annually occurring for the partner, unlike other technologies out there. 30% margin every time the customer renews. So it's a compelling proposition for partners.
So it's a very good competitive advantage that you have in the market out there.
Exactly, and we're quite sort of glad to be engaged with Ingram from day 1 as part of this value proposition to go to market.
That's great. Can you give us some use case examples for like who are the major customers at MySQL Enterprise Edition, and why is it popular with developers and DBAs?
With pleasure. Actually, a good way to put context to your question would be the fact that every one of us uses MySQL, and I'm talking about this supported enterprise. Let's take an example of right now when you get paid by Ingram. Every time we get paid by our employers in UAE, it gets registered at the central bank of UAE in Abu Dhabi. That system is called the wage protection system. So the wage protection system runs MySQL Enterprise since 2004. So our critical compliance data and the fact that we're getting paid is sitting with them, and they've never had to touch the database since they deployed in 2004. So that's one example. Traditionally, in this market, financial services, government, and telcos are the typical use cases that we have. Another one that I would like to touch on is Katim, which is part of Digital 14 Edge Group, for sensitive, secure messaging for a lot of the clients in the industry. They've been relying on MySQL Enterprise for the last 5 years to drive secure messaging.
Wow.
So hopefully that gives you an idea. One final point regarding why developers prefer, I would say it's the ease of use. Just like I mentioned with Central Bank, they've been using it since 2004, and they've never had to touch it for downtime, for maintenance. So developers love the ease of use and the innovations that we constantly bring out.
Well, 19 years is a long time, and it speaks for, the years and the time period that they've been using it, it speaks for itself. In today's world, security breaches happen too often and can cost business. How does MySQL Enterprise Edition help protect the customer data?
I think it's a very valid follow-up question to the central bank reference we mentioned. One of the, and I touched on this, why customers choose enterprise or community. One of the second most top reason is security, regulatory compliance. So for our customers in financial services, in public sector, they need something that has clear encryption of data. They need something that has clear auditability of the data, who touched the data when, and who modified the data last time. And along with that is masking of personal sensitive data. So these aspects drives regulatory compliance for our customers. You mentioned the wider region, so we of course, besides UAE government regulations, we work with SAMA in Saudi Arabia. So we have a lot of banks as well as fintech providers who have to adhere to very stringent SAMA standards of compliance in Saudi, and that's why they rely on Enterprise Edition, because of our security is at the heart of our development.
Okay, well, how is the MySQL licensing unique within Oracle, and how does the year-to-year renewal of the licenses work?
So it's a subscription model that we have for the software division of MySQL, which is quite unique because it's a year-on-year model. Partners make benefit, as my colleague mentioned that, and it's not just that, not just the rebate that they receive, but they also have their own professional services that they can put on top of that, and we train our partners on that and make sure they get certified. 90% of our customers renew their subscriptions, and they usually grow the footprint.
Okay. So at Ingram Micro, we help partners get certified and ready to deliver projects to customers. But what other programs are available to partners to help them communicate to their customers about the benefits of MySQL?
There are a number of ways we make sure partners are up to date with the product. There's always the workshops that we offer to partners. They can request it at any time on demand, or we can do podcasts such as this one. We also offer the learning path that is a part of the Oracle Partner Network membership that they get to get that certification. We do boot camps, and we invite partners regularly for these 4 or 5 day virtual or on-site boot camps. It's by invitation only, but once a partner gets engaged with MySQL, then we do invite and make sure that they make best use of this education to learn the tools and features, how to implement them, how to manage them in both software environments and in cloud environments. And finally, there is the Zift platform, which is a very efficient marketing platform that partners can make use of to advertise their own solution on top of MySQL. Do not mention, we also have Oracle University where they can get certified.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. Okay, so describe to me your ideal partner. Who would be best available to leverage MySQL Enterprise Edition, and in what industries do they work best?
Okay. Service partners are usually, by their nature, like to extend MySQL as a service. MySQL, in fact, is a service and is listed as a service product, if you may say that, within Oracle. By industry, would be banks, telcos, and government, who are the traditional users of MySQL, and they like to make use of the fact that it is coming from open source. What we offer around the tools and features and support are to ensure the manageability and the security of the product for mission critical applications.
Thank you. I mean, it's hard to follow up on that. But in essence, in summary, what I will mention, Dania, is that we have seen increase of almost 200%, 230% in the MySQL business. And a lot of this comes down to the engaged partners and some of the techniques Laszlo already touched on that we use as part of working with the customers and aligning with the partners to identify specific segments. One of the things that is quite critical for us is the planning, the strategic planning and go-to-market with partners, identifying their strengths, be it their strength is in financial services. So then we target set of accounts. Of course, we also have something called the download reports. This is where the community edition users we are tracking, and we can say that let's see from this list which of these users you already have a trusted relationship with. So it makes the initial door opening much more easier, breaks the ice because they're already a trusted partner. So we do, similar to this one example, strategic alignments with partners in the region, and hence some of this feeds into the plus 200% growth that MySQL has seen in the region.
That's a great number. I mean, to see how you guys have grown over the past few years, our partnership. Before, I mean, you have covered what kind of partners you have, what are the best, the enterprise solution or the consumer solution, how are we going ahead with it. So before we end the session, there's just one more thing I would like to ask you. Is there something that you want people to know about MySQL in the upcoming future, henceforth, and what are you planning to do? What is in it for them?
Okay, I can take this first and then hand over to Laszlo. So the MySQL as a business, as a database, has been around for about 20 years. And during that time, we have been known to be continuously innovating our offering for the market. We started as only a relational database. Now we offer relational and non-relational database in one product. Since then, with the 80 to 85% investment growth by Oracle in our R&D, we also now offer a solution in the cloud. So we offer a fully managed service in the cloud as well, which I know we touched on in a separate podcast. So the innovation from our traditional heart of a relational database to offer fully managed service, to offer analytics solution, and also generative AI, which I know is a big buzz during GITEX this year. So this is a journey that MySQL business unit is very excited about going forward. Laszlo, did I miss anything?
That's not really. That's really, we love to touch upon the key personas when we talk to partners about the product, and these would be the likes of application development, leadership, architects, DevOps, and sometimes DBAs themselves. But management will be the best to look at the bird's eye view of a corporation's requirements for database, see if the technical requirements are a good fit for MySQL, and indeed, in web environments, we are the #1 in the world.
MySQL has always been super helpful and knowledgeable. Who in your team can help partners with customer engagement if they ever need additional support?
Of course, there are a number of contact points for them. First and foremost, our dear distributor, Ingram Micro, is always open for communication and further introductions. We do have separate teams for the partner organization, so you can talk to our partner management, and then you can talk to our sales leadership, whether may that be Chet or the cloud organization. It's their choice. But basically, it's very easy to find the right person.
That sounds great and super easy. Thank you so much, Chetan and Laszlo, for your time. This was a great session, and hopefully we'll connect soon.
Our pleasure. Thank you for having us, and I feel like a rock star, so I might just do a bit more of this.
Can we do the songs as well? Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Dania.
Thank you.